As I was warming up, my legs felt great. I looked up at the American flag and saw it sitting dead still, and I thought we could maybe do something special tonight if people want to take it out fast. Fortunately, guys like Dwayne here, never afraid to push the pace a little bit. I think I heard 49 high. So I saw that. I thought this could be a really special moment if we keep it lined up and keep it going. So my plan was just kind of pick people off on the straightaways. So out in 24 high, 25 low, pick a couple people off on the home stretch, move my way down the back stretch, and then just bring it home strong. I started to rig up a little bit with 50 to go, but that 336 PR in the 15 I set a couple weeks back showed that I had the strength to close. So my first 143 here at Hayward Field, I'm very pleased with that. I've run a lot of incredible races here, but to do a 143 at the Olympic trials is pretty special. I'm very proud of myself and really just grateful for the crowd to bring me home and for some great coaches that have made me, turned me into a really elite 800-meter runner over the last 6 years. One of the reasons why I moved down here in '06 was because Coach Lanana and Nike said they wanted to create an elite group down here, and I said I've loved being a part of a team. From Bishop Kelly High School to Willamette University, I just like being around people that inspire me. So, I'm really grateful for Nike to create the Oregon Track Club Elite, grateful for Vin Lanana to help make that possibility, and Frank Gagliano for inviting me to be a part of this group in '06. So this community has really embraced me. I think most people say I'm a Duck, but they forget that I actually went to Willamette University and I'm a Bearcat. But that's just a testament to this community. They said, it's okay, he's a Bearcat, we'll embrace him anyways. And I've had a residence in Springfield for 6 years, and I have a small business here in town. I've really made this my home, and I think that the community has appreciated that. And I've been very proud to race an Oregon Track Club singlet for the last 6 years. It does put a little bit of pressure on me, but you can hear that crowd when they announce my name, and it gives me a huge shot of adrenaline, and I definitely think it's an advantage.
Nick, would you describe as best you understand yourself, aerobically, speed, strength? You did not look tired after that race.
I was exhausted.
And I think part of the reason this crowd is so into you is I don't think they think that you ever can't run down everybody. And would you just talk about what makes you up and how you felt at the end of the race?
Yeah, I come from a distance background. I started out in cross country, and when I ran my first track season as a sophomore in high school, I said, there's no way I'm running anything short of a mile. I'm a distance runner. I was very proud of that. And it really wasn't until I went through puberty and kind of got a little bit stronger that I was actually able to find my sprinting form and become an 800-meter runner. So really, I'm a guy that says, speed comes from strength. And I spend 9 months in the year without my spikes on, just doing nothing but mile repeats and Ks and tempos. So that's the Frank Gagliano method of training, and Mark Rowland, follows the same mentality, and that's that we get our speed from our strength. So I've always said I train more like a miler for most of the year. I go to altitude, and so that's what allows me to come home very strong. And also, I have Jimmy Radcliffe, the head strength training and conditioning coach for University of Oregon that I work with. We're in the gym twice a week, every week, 52 weeks out of the year. And he's always working on my form, telling me to stand tall, be strong. And when I'm coming down that home stretch, I think if you look back at some of my races in '07 and '08, my form would break down a little bit, and now I'm actually strong enough to be able to hold my form for 790 some meters.
Nick, this is your 5th outdoor consecutive championship, and so was your tongue wag at the very end, was that premeditated?
Was my what?
Your tongue wag, the celebration, was that premeditated?
Yeah, it wasn't premeditated. Every time I cross the line, it's just, I can't even explain the relief. You spend years training for these, literally 11-month cycle to try to get ready for one of these events, and I throw up my arms, put up my tongue. I mean, it's just you can't even describe it. I try not to think about how I'm going to celebrate, because you don't want to put the cart before the horse. But it's just an expression of that that relief and that emotion as soon as you cross that line. Oh man, that's tough. 8's always going to be special for me, just because it's my first team, my first Olympic team, and there was just so much relief, because once you're an Olympian, you're always an Olympian. And so coming into this, I said, heaven forbid something happens and I get tripped, you can't take that away from me. I'm always going to be an Olympian. But with that being said, that bitter taste in my mouth from '08 of not making the finals stuck with me for 4 years, and there's only one way to erase that, and that's to go out to London and win a medal. Yeah, that's a great question. For me, one of the reasons I love track and field so much is that it gives you an opportunity to do so much. you know, track and field's been a platform that's allowed me to travel the world and make connections with friends all over the world and go on incredible dates. And so part of me is just like having fun with it, you know. And so there needs to be a certain amount of balance between fun and business. You know, compartmentalizing, something I've had to work on even to this day. I started working with a sports psychologist, Jeff Troche, who's a fantastic sports psychologist. And if I feel myself out of balance at all, I'll call him, and just using him as a sounding board and being able to talk to him has really helped me kind of find that balance. When I was down in Australia, I didn't have that balance, and I ran just some abysmal races. Couldn't even break 148, and I came back and just said, you know, I need to start having fun with the sport again. And so that's really what the last 3 months has been about, and obviously pay off.
But Nick's telling us his secrets really quickly. He said a psychologist and weight room, Australia, and important, incredible dates. I mean, what is all this about? Me and Dwayne's like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Dates,
you
Australia.
guys live in LA, man.
Psychologist. I mean, what is this? What kind of program are you on? We don't have none of that, man. We're just out there at the track with our coach. No wonder you're kicking our butt. Incredible dates. What are you talking about? Sorry.
It's all good.
Nick, you mentioned your first 143 at Hayward is probably the earliest you've run 143. Can you talk about what you're capable of this year physically and how you may be better prepared mentally to handle the Olympics?
Yes, yeah. You know, when I went out to Penn Relays this year, I said, I just want to see what I'm capable of. I'd just gotten off of altitude, and I said, I'm going to go out hard and see what happens. And I think I ran a 143.9 there. And I kind of panicked for a minute, and I was like, oh my gosh, am I peaking too early? And called my sports psychologist, called up Jeff Troche, and he said, why don't you not worry about that? Why don't you just say maybe you're not even sure what you're capable of yet? And I thought, wow, that's really good. I just came off altitude. I haven't done any sharpening work. Maybe I don't know. You know, in college, I ran 6 months out of the year, and I goofed around for 6 months, the other 6 months. So I'm really just now, I feel like starting to come into my own. I didn't train all that hard in high school. I played ice hockey in the winters and just hiked a lot in the summer. So really, whereas a lot of athletes maybe trained hard in high school and college, I feel like I'm certainly on a bit more of a delay. So at 28, 29, you know, 30, these are going to be my best years. So I don't want to question. I just want to go out and compete hard, give myself the best opportunities. You know, having Oregon Track Club and Nike on my side helps out a lot in obtaining those opportunities. So I'm not going to question. I'm going to try to go to Europe and run really fast. And I'm going to go to London and just try to get through the rounds as best I can. Johnny, yeah. Well, he's sitting in the room here, so congratulations, first of all. You know, I saw that race, and I want to bring a medal back for America so bad. I know all three of us do, and I think we got a good shot with this group that we're sending to London. You know, it's the men's 800, and that semifinal is so unforgiving, and you just got to get to it. You got to race a perfect race. There's going to be 16 guys that tow, more than that. There's going to be 24 guys towing the line trying to make the finals. And most of those guys all belong in it, but unfortunately you can only take 8. So there's a lot of luck that goes into it, a lot of timing. But once you've made the finals, just about anybody has a shot at a medal. That's the men's 800. So you know, I was 6th in Berlin. I was 5th in Daegu. I got to be just a little bit ahead of the curve to try to get in there for a medal in London. I think that my preparation this year has gone phenomenally. And I just gotta not doubt myself and really believe in my abilities to stick with the East Africans.